let me pull this up from NBC.
I feel sorry for all the girls who got nominated, because it's a huge honor to even be nominated, and to have it be made a mockery of is so disrespectful.
Insulting, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a story from NBC News. Trans swimmer Lia Thomas nominated for NCAA Woman of the Year award. The University of Pennsylvania athlete shot to fame earlier this year when she became the first transgender NCAA champion in division history. Now, most of you know the story of Lia Thomas. I wonder, they don't have the photo here. There's a photo where Lia Thomas is standing on the podium and all the girls go far away and take a picture together, leaving Lia Thomas, the transgender swimmer, to their lonesome. This, to me, is an example of the psychopathy, the narcissism, the sociopathy, just all of these, like, I don't know. Look, the point I was just making for those that are just tuning into the segment was that the right has, let's throw to Jonathan Haidt's research. The moral foundations, there are 6. The right has an equal balance of all of them. Libertarians only have one moral foundation. It's hilarious. It's a liberty. That's it. They don't care about anything else. It's kind of creepy, actually, if you look at the questions asked. And liberals have care and fairness and nothing else. So it seems like you have a tendency among the right, conservatives, to have a balance to their views. I wonder if this has something to do with a tendency to live in rural areas. Like in our experience, what happens when you catch a cute little animal that is a rabies vector? Nobody wants to cause harm to the cute little animal, but when you don't, people die.
Right.
And so you have to make hard decisions and recognize, hey, look, you're hungry, that chicken, kill it. Who's going to kill the chicken? Oh, no, but we love the chickens. They're so funny. You got to do it. And I wonder if that's the reason why people growing up in cities, isolated from all of this, have become narcissists, have become egotistical, and have an overreaction towards the idea of care and fairness. What I've been seeing on the right, you got your grifters. You got some people who are notable for copyright infringement, just stealing content, pulling labels off it. And they've done well for themselves, and it pisses people off. But for the most part, you have an attempt at honesty, conversation, compromise. And then you take a look at the left, and it's malicious, it's ignorant, it's angry.
Care and fairness is getting twisted, I think, in the sense that if you see someone suffering, people are like, oh, I want to make that suffering stop. But in reality, people sometimes need to suffer to grow, to learn about themselves. They need to go through pain and hardship. And like, it's called tough love. It's a very specific thing. And to eradicate that and make sure that people are comfortable, frequently, without resistance, they're going to fall.
I have to wonder about it, though, man. My experience with, even today, the people on the right that I'll talk to, for instance, Seamus is a great example.
Oh, yeah.
Seamus gets mad when we argue about abortion, and I say, like, I think there are circumstances where the government should not be intervening. And Seamus, Freedom Tunes, good friend, he's very pro-life and thinks there should be a nationwide ban on it. And we disagree, and we've gotten heated, and then we write jokes together and we laugh together because, we really do just want to live together and hope we can do right by each other. And then
Seamus also knows you're going to hell, so he wins the long game.
Well, Seamus doesn't want me to go to hell.
No, that's right. He's trying to save us all.
Yeah.
No, he is. I mean, but he literally is.
Yeah.
For his beliefs and his view, that's what he's trying to do. And when we argue about it, we get angry. But afterwards, we're laughing, we're having pizza, and we're working together. But with the modern iteration of whatever the left is, the reason why people like you, Jamie, or you, Taylor, are now all of a sudden being associated with the right for whatever reason is because there's an open conversation on the other side of those flames. Mm-hmm. On the left, you're surrounded by a wall of fire. And they tell you if you go near it, you'll be burned. And that's why people are scared to speak up and won't. But on the other side of it, we're chilling. Yeah. This is like...
It's like that movie, The Village. You ever see that M. Night Shyamalan movie? They're in the village. They don't know.
It's also like there's that Breitbart quote I have to bring up and then forget.
The other side of the fire.
So, well, I don't know. You want to pull it up again?
Yeah.
So, Andrew Breitbart had a quote about the fire, and then someone told me a different version of it, but and I always forget what the quote was, and then I ask Ian to look it up.
It's the walk toward the fire quote. Let's see it. Walk toward the fire. Don't worry about what they call you. All those things are set against you because they want to stop you in your tracks. But if you keep going, you're sending a message to the people who are rooting for you, who are agreeing with you. The message is that they can do it too.
So
I was talking. You guys may be like Andrew Breitbart too.
I know, right?
What a day for me.
He used to be a huge liberal.
I do remember. Didn't he start like Huffington Post with Ariana?
Yeah.
That's right. That's
right. Someone told me about that quote, and then what they said was, think of it like you're surrounded by a wall of fire, and everyone keeps saying, if you go near that, you'll be burned. Don't go near that. And then eventually someone starts walking towards it with all of them screaming, stop, you're crazy, you're stupid, you're wrong, don't do it. They get violent, try and stop you. And then the person jumps through the fire, and now they're on the other side. And what do they see? It's a beach. People are hanging out with cool, crisp air. They're drinking beers, they're laughing, they're swimming. People are taken off to go home, and everyone else trapped inside is too scared of what's on the other side or to go near the flames. The flames, it's the wokeness. It's, if I speak up against this person, the woke people will attack me and destroy me. Well, some people get attacked and destroyed regardless.
Yeah.
And
That's a great.
Well, I'm laughing so hard because it's, I mean, even the beach part of the metaphor, everyone was like, you can't go on Tim Pool's show. You can't go on Tim Pool's show. Then I show up here and you're like, we have swords and guitars. And I'm like, this is amazing.
So great.
This is so fun.
We got drinks. We got fancy whiskey.
This-
we got people of different political views.
I burned my eyes on Pappies. I never thought that would happen.
Great.
I'm
This
a man
metaphor
now.
of the fire being wokeness is brilliant, because if you get near it and then you mock it, it's going to burn you. If you pass through it, you're fine. There's so much more outside of this cult.
Well, and guys, I have great news. I'm gonna do the Ian. I'm gonna look straight to camera and say this: Twitter isn't real.
Yeah,
like
right.
Twitter isn't real. The times where you're getting mobbed or you're in an argument, you go outside. Birds are still chirping, man.
Yes.
You go to Starbucks, the cashier will still talk to you. You can still have a normal conversation with people. You can still say hi. You can still pet strangers' dogs. Like, it is not real. And I truly believe the majority of people align with us, where they're decent people. They want everybody to have rights. They're not following the news. They don't know about what Marjorie's writing on Facebook. They just want to take care of their families.
But the fire that's wokeness is moving. It's burning, and if you sit still, if these people outside the fire are fine,
Yes.
but the fire will move and surround them if they're not aware of
I
what's
agree.
going on.
I do agree.
I think you're half right.
I think that my story is a really good example of that, because people were telling me from the very start that I'd ruined my life and I was never going to have a career, and that I should just like hurt myself and leave skateboarding, leave the internet. But my life has only gotten better. I've had more opportunities. I've gotten to actually speak up about this issue and have a bigger platform for it, which is important to me. That's why I spoke up in the first place.
So for those that aren't familiar, you competed in a skateboarding contest against a transgender biological male and came in second. Mm-hmm. And now you're speaking at big events. I don't want to make announcements for you, but you've been speaking at a lot.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot, and I'm really grateful for that. And I'm grateful to work with a team of other women who are either athletes who have gone through a similar experience, or doctors or attorneys who support us. But had I not just committed to what I said and just gone through that fire, like for lack of a better term, then it would have just passed.
And there was a second where you were just getting burned, right? Like,
for a moment before you tweeted, before Colin Wright tweeted.
And then I saw it. And
Oh,
I was
shout
like,
out Colin.
Yeah.
He's my
Yeah,
buddy,
thank
too.
you,
He's
Colin.
he's
You're
great.
the best.
He bought me hot chicken in Nashville.
This is
awesome.
hot chicken, Nashville hot chicken.
I think I think
so
it was
good.
his girlfriend Christina who showed
Yeah,
him the story. So shout out to her
Shout
too.
out.
So, but
Christina.
let's wrap this all up together. The analogy is actually perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You were warned to stay away from the fire, even though it sucked where you were, and you were like, "This is bad."
It was worse just feeling like miserable about not speaking up for myself.
But then you
For me.
walked to the fire, and the first thing that happened was you got burned, and people started just crapping all over you.
Well, on the
comments.
internet, not in
Right,
real
right.
life.
No, for sure. It's like the burn doesn't kill you; it hurts. But then all of a sudden, Colin Wright grabbed your hand and pulled you out of the fire on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Wright's rad dude. We're big fans. We've had him on the show several times.
Him and his girlfriend.
I
yeah,
got
really
to finally
cool.
meet him in person. He was so
Right on.
cool.
It's so cool.
Well, and actually, and I'll give props to you too, Taylor. By speaking up, I didn't. I was so scared and so filled with shame with mine that I was just like, I'm gonna disappear. I literally still thought, I was talking about this with Joe at a show. Like it was so culty where I was like, by me not defending myself still makes me a better ally. Like I didn't want to say anything that would make me sound like I was trashing any women. So I just stayed quiet. And because my only fans were super woke people, everyone was just like, they got their marching orders and they bailed. So I didn't have backup. And then by me staying quiet, there was no one defending me. You know what I mean? Like Joe texted, a couple people texted, but for the most part, I went dark and just started teaching jiu-jitsu. And so when Taylor did speak up for herself, like that does go to show how powerful it can be when you really believe what you believe what you preach, and also when you just go, no, I'm not going to take crap and I'm going to defend myself right away, there are people who will back you up, which is rad.
You know what, like the best piece of evidence that the right is not a cult is that our good friends over at patriots.win routinely call me cuck and other words, but still routinely watch my content and then insult me over it.
Fellow cultists can still call you a cuck. Beware.
No, they hate me. The point is,
I don't know. That's true.
The point is, they smack talk me. They smack talk Joe. They're like, these people are weak. But that right there shows they're sharing content outside of their circle.
Right.
They're sharing things that other people are saying, explaining why they think we're wrong and why that deserves to be called a cuck or whatever. And I made a point. I said, this actually shows they're not in a cult.
Well,
because they watch people they disagree with to learn what they're saying. The cult isolates you from everyone else.
And ironically, by watching something that they shouldn't be watching, kind of makes them a cuck. What do you think about the term?
Like self-imposed.
Oh, I get it.
That's how it is.
I
humiliating
literally,
you.
I refused to accept that wasn't funny, and I was like, I will sit in
Someone's
this,
gonna
I
get
will
the joke.
sit in this silence till you guys figure out that I'm
17 years,
hilarious.
This video is going to live on in perpetuity.
That's great.
Yeah. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Come hang out live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Super Chat will even answer some of your questions. If you want to check out the After Hours Censored Show, go to timcast.com and become a member. We put those up Monday through Thursday at 11 p.m. They're very funny, not very family friendly. We'll love to see you there. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.